You know that feeling you get when you're watching a movie with your parents and a sex scene comes up? It happens to everyone, but now I live 2 hours away from my mom, so this should no longer be an issue, but I walk into this theater and bam, old couple right in front of me in one of the smallest rooms in the whole theater. And the whole time I was watching this movie, I couldn't help but think, why are you two here? Okay, now that I'm done with that, the to-do list stars Aubrey Plaza as a high school graduate who's a bit uptight since she mainly focused on academics in school. So after an incident at a graduation party, it occurs to her that she knows about everything except sex. And her older sister tells her that sex is such a big deal in college, so Aubrey Plaza basically decides to spend the summer getting experience, so she makes a list of sex acts and decides to try them all out, leading up to actually having sex with the guy she has a crush on. So that's the main plot, but this is a flat-out schools out summer movie, and it happens during 1993, so there's like a whole lot of other stuff going on in the background. There's this huge supporting cast that has the likes of Clark Gregg, Rachel Bilson, Bill Hader, McLovin, Johnny Simmons, Donald Glover, and Alia Shawkat, who I find myself strangely attracted to, and a whole lot of other people. And this movie is essentially a playground for all these people to act as goofy as possible while making references to the 90s. And it's fun. And this movie is essentially why I get pissed off when people my age refer to themselves as 90s kids. Like, I wouldn't have even been like a year old when this movie took place, but these are 90s kids. Like, they're 17 and up, and they actually know what's actually going on during this time. But overall, this movie was very hit or miss for me. Like, it's a goofy playground, and everyone's just trying to play it super silly to varying degrees, and it makes it feel like very uneven at times. And you can tell that it's a very low budget movie. Like, whenever I see a movie and I find out that they made it for like $1 million or $2 million, I'm like, oh wow, they did all that with that little? With this, it's more like, yeah, this is totally made for a couple million. But going back to positives, it's a very dirty comedy. Like, lots of sex talk. The characters do a lot of actions that you kind of see. There are a lot of things with fluids, and I credit the director and actors for really just going there. And it sounds like I didn't like the movie that much, but it wasn't really until after I saw this movie that I really thought about it, and I was thinking, it actually did do some things really well. Like, for all its silliness, it had like a lesson at the end that I thought was very honest. And the movie takes a plot point that we've seen hundreds of times in movies for decades now and just slaps it in the face. Like, the whole, if you're a nice guy that tries to do the right thing and you're friends with the girl, she'll eventually see you in that light. And this movie just goes, that's crap, and I applaud it for that. I'm sorry, but that plot point groomed several generations of nice guys that go, I'm nice, sir, and I compliment her all the time. Why doesn't she like me? Like, stop! That is bad for people. So with that said, this is a movie that I liked more the more I thought about it afterwards. But while seeing it, I got my chuckles. Every now and then someone would say something that really hit hard for me. Like, I liked Connie Britton, who played the mom in this movie. She was the most consistent character for me in terms of actually hitting the jokes. But Aubrey Plaza does a good job of carrying this movie. Like, you do like her character, and there's never really a point where you're just like, ew, what a slut. But, I mean, it's not the best, but this isn't a bad directorial debut for Maggie Carey, and, you know, I'd like to see what else she's gonna do. So tell me what you thought about the to-do list in the comments section, and if you like this review and you want to see more, please subscribe. I'd really appreciate it.